Good evening, all. Uh, yeah, I just came across uh, one of a nice game this morning, and just wanted to share it with the YouTube chess community. And without any further ado, let's get into the game. And by the way, the game was played between Marc Esserman and Kapil Chandran in Sturbridge 2010. Let's see. E4, C5, D4, CD, C3, DC3, Knight C3. And this is known as the Morra Gambit. White is sacrificing a pawn in the opening to get rapid development and good piece play. He gets an open C file and a semi-open D file to play with. So usually white has good compensation for the sacrificed pawn, and if black is not careful, the games can get finished really quickly. And yeah, it's a really tricky opening, the Morra Gambit. We see e6 from black, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, queen c7, castles. And as you can see, already white has completed his development and black is still a couple of moves away from castling, and this can be exploited by white in many of the lines of the Morra Gambit, not only in this line but in various lines. Usually black is behind in development, and that is why it's really dangerous to accept the pawn on the third move. And here, after knight f6, black is actually playing for a really tricky line here. If white is not careful, he might himself get trapped in this line, which is known as the Siberian Trap, against the Morra Gambit, which is really interesting, the trapper getting trapped. So knight b5 is played in the game, and before we go into the game, let us have a look what happens if normal moves are played. Queen e2, for suppose there comes knight g4, and after normal looking h3, suddenly there comes knight d4, and white is completely lost in this game. As you can see, there are dual threats of queen h2 mate and knight takes e2, and if knight takes d4, just to put it on the board, is queen h2 mate. So let's go back. So Marc Esserman playing white. Obviously he's a really experienced player in this Morra Gambit, and if anybody wants to study this opening, I would recommend you to go over his games. And there's even a book known as I think there's a book by him on the Morra Gambit. You could get that one. So after knight b5, queen b8, there comes e5, another pawn sacrifice, just to get complete initiative on the position. As you will see in a couple of moves, the acceptance of this second pawn proves disastrous for black, and black accepts the pawn. After knight takes, queen takes, rook e1, you can see a huge development edge for white here, and black has not, I think he has only developed his king's knight, which is really doing nothing, and the queen against the fully developed white's army. And you can see in the couple coming moves that white really exploits his development edge. After queen c5, we have bishop f1. The queen was hit. After queen c5, it goes to bishop f1, and after knight d5, we have bishop g5, threatening queen takes d5, queen takes d5, knight c7 mate, and you can see already black is in big trouble, and it's not easy to find the moves here. a6 is one of the moves, and after knight, you might ask, instead of knight d5 in this position, if a6 here, there's a line here, excuse me, instead of knight d5, if black plays a6 in this position, then we have bishop e3, queen c6, and knight a7. There is a tempting option of rook c1, but here there's black can even sacrifice his queen for a really compacted structure, which I think the position is equal, but black has a comfortable game playing this position. It's kind of a fortress. There is no points of attack, no pawn breaks for white. This is meant to be equal, but easy play for black in that line. But no, in this line, after bishop e3, queen c6, we have knight a7 hitting the queen again, and after queen d8, after queen c7, rook c1, queen d8, we have queen c2. Yes, as you can see, the queen's bishop is trapped on its original square, and this is because of the wastage of time by black initially by his queen moves and e6 moves. And the only good looking move here seems to be bishop b4, but after knight takes c8, bishop takes e1, bishop b6, white is completely dominating the position, and this is completely lost for black here. So let's go back. That is why in the game we see after queen c5, bishop f1, we see knight d5 and bishop g5, a really tricky move. And here, if black gets careful and plays a6, we have queen takes d5, a really nasty blow, because after queen takes d5, knight c7, we have a mate on board, a pretty mate by a knight and a bishop. Yes, and that is why after bishop g5, we have a6, rook c1, again attacking the queen, queen b6, and after queen b6, we have, yes, exploiting the pin on the e file, we have queen takes d5, and after ab, bishop takes b5, you can see white is completely dominating the game. The pin on the a4 e8 diagonal could become fatal, as you can see in the coming moves. Black, just not sensing the danger, plays bishop d6, but after rook into e6, black just realizes that he is completely lost. In fact, black resigned here after rook into e6, because f into e6, queen into e6, this king f8, queen f5 check. There's also bishop e7 winning the queen, but more precise is queen f5, king e8, rook e1, bishop e7, rook takes e7, king d8, rook takes d7 double check, king e8, and rook d8 checkmate. So yes, a really pretty game by Marc Esserman, who is by the way, a lifetime player of the Morra Gambit against the Sicilian. And if anybody wants to study the opening, then you could go over his games. I thought that was a pretty interesting game, this one. Thought of sharing it to the YouTube community. Thanks for watching, and if you did like the commentary and the game, then please like the video. And if any questions, please, any suggestions and any questions, please let me know in the comments box below. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.